Wall Street Limited employees. We had a number of key changes in the budget that impact on employees. We had an NIC reduction, we have some employee shareholder shares, we have improvements to the Enterprise Management Incentive Scheme, a new tax-free childcare scheme and some employee ownership support. So let's have a look at each of those in a little bit more detail. NIC Employment Allowance. From April 2014, all businesses and charities will be able to claim an allowance of £2,000 a year against their employer's Class 1 NIC. We understand this will be claimed as part of the normal payroll process. However, further details will follow after government consultation. We are told that this will take approximately 450,000 businesses out of the requirement to pay national insurance contributions, and the cost to the Exchequer will be £1.25 billion in 2014-15, so hopefully it will have some impact on businesses. The key, we think, will be the simplicity that businesses have within which to operate this arrangement. We then have something called employee shareholder shares. Again, these have been mentioned previously by the government, and it's a new employment status which will enable workers to give up some of their employment rights in exchange for shares. The types of rights that we're looking at are rights to redundancy, rights to training, some maternity rights, and also rights to unfair dismissal. Individuals can receive between £2,000 and £50,000 worth of shares. There's no restriction on the type of share that can be used. The tax advantages are that if you sell the shares, the gain that you make on them will be tax-free up to £50,000. £2,000 worth of the share value that you receive when you get your shares will be free from income tax and national insurance contributions. When you receive shares from your employment, if you don't pay full market value for them, you're automatically subject to income tax and sometimes national insurance contributions on them. I think it remains to be seen with this relief whether £2,000 worth of value is sufficient to encourage people to use the scheme. Overall, the commentary on these employee shareholder shares is that the take-up is probably going to be poor because the tax advantage isn't great enough for giving up your employment rights. We also had changes made to EMI share options, that's the Enterprise Management Incentive Scheme. The Enterprise Management Incentive Scheme is an arrangement that enables you to offer options over shares in your company to your employees. They don't have to pay for them straight away. You can give them the option and they can exercise it at some point in the future. The change we've had is to allow EMI share options to qualify for entrepreneurs relief from the date that the option is granted to you rather than the date that you acquire the shares. Entrepreneurs relief is a 10% rate of capital gains tax when you come to sell shares. So if you're given an option to acquire shares in the future in your company, you exercise that option and the company's sold, the profit that you make would only be taxed at 10%. Usually with entrepreneurs relief, you have to own 5% of the ordinary share capital. The change also says that that's not necessary. It doesn't matter what percentage you hold, you will automatically qualify for entrepreneurs relief. This is a very beneficial change. It makes Enterprise Management Incentive Scheme a very attractive employee incentive. It enables you to incentivise and retain your key members of staff without any initial bonus payments or cash outlay for them. We also had the announcement of a new tax-free childcare scheme. It's a new scheme, it's not going to be phased in until the autumn 2015, so a little while to go yet. And the detail of the scheme is subject to further consultation. What we understand is that families with all parents in work, with each parent earning less than £150,000 per year, will get tax relief of 20% on their yearly childcare costs, up to a maximum of £6,000 per child, or in cash terms £1,200. It won't be available to anybody who receives support through tax credits or other benefits, and in the first year it will be available to children under the age of 5, and this will build up over a number of years to extend to children under the age of 12. We don't have any further detail on this arrangement at the moment, and further consultation will follow. Employee ownership support. Hidden in the detail of the budget was mention of a new relief, whereby the government will provide £50 million worth of annual funding from 2014-15 to support employee ownership. We understand that this will include a capital gains tax exemption on qualifying disposals of a controlling interest in a business into an employee-owned structure. We don't have any more detail at the moment on the proposed changes. Ideally, this would make management buyouts much more attractive because it would reduce or eliminate the capital gains tax charge for the existing owners. We've got further consultation to follow on this. However, the financial limit of £50 million a year does suggest that this may be more limited than the Chancellor suggested in his budget speech. So what are our tax saving tips for employees post-Budget 2013? Well, first of all, look at the possibility of using tax-efficient incentives such as the Enterprise Management Incentive Scheme to both incentivise and retain your key staff. As I said previously, they're long-term and they don't involve any initial cash outlay. Review the provision of other benefits to your staff to ensure that these are still tax-efficient. We have a number of tax-free perks, which are detailed on the following slide, that are still available. Interest-free loans to employees for any purpose was also increased in the budget up to £10,000 per employee. So you can loan your employee £10,000 for any purpose and they don't have any tax to pay as a result. It's a tax-free benefit in kind. Remember that we still have the National Insurance holiday, which was announced in a previous budget. That's available up to the 5th of September 2013. And that is an NI savings scheme for new businesses that started up after the 22nd of June 2012. It enables you to save up to £5,000 of employers' NIC for up to the first 10 employees.